Hello, today we ask Reddit what is something that is extremely normal, but can easily kill you. Make sure to comment your opinion down below. With that, sit back and enjoy. Driving in a car. It's the most responsibility most people will ever be given in their lives. When I turned 16, my dad handed me my keys and said, "This is the only time in your life I will ever give you a gift that can take your life. Please be careful, I'm begging you." And the seriousness in his tone stayed in my head forever. I was an incredibly cautious driver. Damn, definitely keeping that one in mind for my kids. Thanks for sharing, much appreciated. A punch. People throw hands over nothing when all it takes to kill a person and destroy the lives of multiple people is to hit them too hard or have them fall and hit their head on the ground. People also use their legs and feet. 90% of the videos where people are fighting, they end up kicking and stomping on people's heads. This makes me cringe. These people could easily kill or paralyze someone from those kicks. Most kicks in fights are exactly what you just described. Flying super flashy kicks usually don't work and you have to be a very highly trained martial artist. However, the lowliest cavemen can stomp on your skull after a sucker punch and it's lights out forever. If you're stomping on someone's head when they're on the floor, you're trying to kill them, I don't care what you say. The consensus I've read is if you can avoid a fight, do so. Bare knuckle hits to the head can permanently damage you. It's not like in the movies where you just humorously shake someone after they've been KO'd and they all get drinks. Swallowing food. This is true, I don't sleepwalk, but I sleep eat, and I choke on candy, and my chihuahua used to wake me up when it happened, but he died. He was 13. Unless you just got food next to your bed all the damn time you sleepwalk, homie. Fool just sleeps next to a nightstand full of candy. No accountability. Crazy lol. This has me cackling at 5 a.m. I imagine this dude goes to bed like, whatever will I do now that my dog's gone? Oh well. Stuffs another handful of candy in his nightstand. Not sure how common, but never work on anything with a large spring like a garage door or springs on a car if you don't know what you're doing. As a teenager, I stupidly backed up too far into our family's garage door, knocking it off the tracks. My father tried to fix it a few years ago. I got a call from the emergency room from my brother saying that the whole side of my dad's jaw had been smashed in by the garage door spring. He lost like 6 teeth and needed stitches, but it could have been so much worse. Any higher and he could have lost an eye, any lower and the spring would have hit his throat. I'll never ever forgive myself for messing up that garage door. Edit. Thank you guys for your very kind words. I honestly needed to hear them and it really means so much. It's just that he wound up needing all of his upper teeth extracted, and had to get a full denture, which kind of changed his quality of life, and it was a financial ordeal. It's hard to let go of all that guilt. If I had awards, I'd give them to all of you. I saw a video yesterday where a guy was filling a truck tire with air. The tire blew up and the guy was disappeared, most likely died from the blast. I know that pressure could be dangerous, but dieting while blowing up a tire is quite extreme. Truck tires are often around the 90 to 120 psi range, not like your common 26 to 32 psi of a car tire. 120 psi next to your skin is no joke. As a side note to this, I once had to do a safety course, and a part of that was actually inflating a tire until it exploded so we could see what the warning signs were. It was a smaller truck tire in a cage, and I have no idea what psi it let go at, but it mangled the cage when it finally let go, and this was a thick tube-framed cage. I can't believe nobody has said, drinking alcohol, yet. Extremely normal. Also an extremely hard drug that can kill you in a half-dozen ways, including detoxing off of it. I don't know statistics in other countries, but, in the Netherlands, 35,000 people a year die because of alcohol-related liver disease. So, that doesn't have other alcohol-related diseases in the statistic. Not only that, but if I recall correctly from a college course I took, most alcoholics die from accidents related to being drunk while doing somewhat normal things like falling off a ladder, or drowning in a pool. Tylenol is the biggest over-the-counter killer in the United States. This terrifies me because I can't take NSAIDs due to my ulcerative colitis. Tylenol is the only thing I can take for pain, and working fast food has me in pain a lot. Keep it as low as you can, but never exceed 4,000 milligrams in a single 24-hour period. Had an ICU nurse who'd pulled the sheet over a few liver failure deaths tell me that, so I'm inclined to believe. Being around a balcony. Especially in Russia. Especially in Ibiza. With a vodka. While you are a quote-unquote friend of Putin's. Vomiting. That's how some people with substance use go. They choke on their vomit and boom. Just choking in general, mostly to do with regular eating. Around 200 people per year in the UK, and 4,000 a year in the US. US has 5 times the population but 20 times the number of choking deaths. You guys need to chew more or eat slower. Bacteria. My girlfriend is a microbiologist. Can confirm. Cut in your foot? Walk around on slippers on a dirty beach in India? You're ducked. Dubious hygiene and infection control at the piercing shop? Avoid going to the hospital because my fever and foggy brain will clear up in a few days. Sepsis. A mosquito. I had a professor who'd grown up in Ghana. He said he'd had malaria over 20 times. For some reason I thought it was like chicken pox where you get it once and then you'll have immunity to it. Apparently not. A cow. They kill a shocking number of people every year. They kill about 20 people every year. I honestly thought more. I mean, we can't complain. Our team's KDR is ducking insane. It only makes sense they'd pick off 1 or 20 of us. Childbirth. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. I feel like if sex ed taught about the full scope of pregnancy, good and bad, women would be better equipped to endure mental and physical pressure of carrying a child. There's so many that feel alone or guilty about their struggles because we aren't taught the nitty-gritty. Very underappreciated category, like a lot of people are saying. I am very lucky to have both my wife and daughter alive right today. The doctors working with my wife made a couple mistakes along the way. Almost a 4-day induced labor. Manually breaking water at the end of the 2nd day, which showed that there was meconium present. After that they let my wife sit, while occasionally and sometimes begrudgingly cleaning her for 22 hours waiting for this magical, natural birth that the doctors seemed to have wanted so bad for my wife. My wife had been asking them to just do a C-section. Fast forward to my wife developing a nasty infection, surprise. After continually leaking meconium-filled water for almost an entire day. The kicker was that she had been shaking really badly for about 2 hours in the morning. She looked bad. We had been asking the nurses for help and every one of them kept telling us this was part of childbirth she was experiencing. When the new doctor walks in, she immediately asks for her temperature to be taken and she had a temp of 106 degrees. That doctor rushed her into an emergency C-section and in my mind saved both of them. My daughter had to stay at the hospital for 2 weeks while being treated for meningitis, although they would never tell us what she officially had. She was treated for it but didn't have it. All that being said, the NICU was amazing and filled with some really great people. They really work some magic in there and keep you calm. Sorry for the long read, but just throwing this out there because we went to a very reputable OB and the hospital had a great reputation for childbirth. All that being said, and we still came close to not all of us coming home. A urinary infection. In older females it is like sudden onset dementia. I always tell everyone and have had a few people thank me. I believe it is less common in males, but it can spread and kill you very quickly. Take care of our seniors. I'm 29 years old, and a urinary infection left untreated and misdiagnosed last year almost killed me. I had a baby in late 2020, and had tearing all the way up into my urethra that was stitched. Well, that didn't go too well as you could imagine. The infection started on the outside at the stitching, went all the way into my bladder. Gave me lymphatic adenitis so bad that I was passing out, hallucinating, couldn't keep anything down and in a vomiting cycle for at least a month to where I was throwing up blood every day. I lost around 20 pounds in this time frame as well, rapidly. ER kept trying to shove painkillers in me to help, none of it helped. They did all the tests they could think of and it took that entire month for them to finally figure out it was just a bladder infection gone rogue. This was all happening while trying to care for a 6-month-old infant, and I have no idea how she survived with me taking care of her while I was in that state of being. I know during that time she started eating solids and I'm quite sad that I missed that milestone, mentally. Physically I did that but couldn't tell you what she first ate and what not. The only thing that took the pain of it all away was the fentanyl drip. 30 seconds after they put that into my port I felt 130% better and could talk and realized I was in the hospital. It was nuts. I still have ongoing issues from it all, but at least I'm not dead. I had no village after having her and had no help at all in anything. So lack of sleep, lack of time to do anything for myself in any form really did not help at all with this issue. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching all the way until the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment any outdated advice. Until next time.